Welcome to Outback Outdoors. Make sure you like, subscribe, and click the alert to stay up to date on all our new videos.
Elk here in Kentucky, and I'm going to briefly go through the history of this hunt. And in the first year, Landon, I think he was 9. He was 9 or 10, and he hunted with a crossbow during an archery season, and I hunted. Matter of fact, I was hunting with my stick bow that year. And that first year, I learned a lot about how to hunt this country. And Jordan, you've seen. When I said it was thick, I wasn't kidding.
No, you weren't kidding.
But until you've been out here and tried to hunt elk in this, it's tough. You have to have predetermined pathways.
Put it right on his shoulder.
So that was the first year. He kills a 364-inch bull, his first bull. It was just a beautiful bull, just a big bull. And right after he shot the bull, we look up and there's another bull kind of up on the ridge. So I shot my bull right there within 200 yards of each other.
Boy, we brought just to right around the shell.
So that was cool. First year. Second year, Todd says, hey, Ashton, my youngest son, who was 8, he was young. He was even younger than Landon at the time. So Landon was probably 10. He was probably 9 that next year. And Ashton hunted with us kind of the same way. He didn't get to hunt as much during bow season. Finally, we got into rifling. And he killed a nice bull. He killed a 330, 335, something like that. Just a great bull. And I ended up killing a bull the next day.
Oh, man.
And he was probably 300, right around 300. We had to go. It was a last day type of thing, and found a bull and I shot him. Then third year. Now the third year, I thought I was done. But the third year came about that I started talking to Kelly Tackett about possibly hunting. Now Kelly is not a hunter, but Kelly, I said, do you think you can do this? And she said, oh, I know I can do it. She's a, spunky, a lot of fun. And so Todd and I said, all right, if she'll do it, let's do it. That'd be fun. And she wanted to. So we got her some Sitka gear, and she started practicing and stuff like that because she was going to hunt with a crossbow again in bow hunting season going into rifle season. And we had some encounters. But then as we went into rifle, we got her on a big bull, and she just made a great shot. And we did have to track a little bit. It actually went a lot further than we thought. But we got on that. And then that year too, during the bow hunting season, I missed a big bull. I missed a bull that anybody would be proud to have, and a typical Kentucky bull. And I got an opportunity, and I ranged him, and my rangefinder was hitting some grass that I didn't know was there. It was about 8 yards further, and I shot just underneath him. So I was pretty bummed. But as we got into rifle, and then I came back in again, kind of that last day thing, trying to kill a bull, and we found a bull. We found a bull on this ridge that. The same ridge that Kelly had shot hers, except he was off the edge. And we started calling to him, and he headed out. And we thought the day was done because it was starting to get dark. And then something changed, and here he came. And we were able to actually get back, and I was able to shoot that bull, and it turned out to be the exact same bull I missed with my bow. which is
Look at
pretty
this
special.
thing. Oh my gosh. That is unreal.
So here we are the 4th year. Jordan, tell them about our drive over.
Well, we wanted to get here as soon as possible. We would have got here sooner, but we had to stop at Shields.
Yeah, we had a Yeti Panga 75 full of every subalpine piece of Sitka gear I own disappear.
Kansas City, found a Shields. I called ahead and they pulled some Sitka aside in my size because they don't have very much of it. It's hard to find mediums and unless you're looking in the teen section. So we're gonna go in and see what they have, and I'll pick up the bare necessities, but at least we found a Shields. They got a good stock, and hopefully we can get what we need.
I literally didn't have another stitch of camo. Well, I bought basically everything they had in my size.
Well, it's a good thing we realized it right away, too.
Yeah. We went off a point, we heard a chuckle, we're like, oh, okay, we've got noise, now we know what to do.
We got options.
So the next morning we went back to the point that we heard the chuckle and we got an answer.
It was a ways off.
And it was a ways off, so we pulled out our Onyx and we kind of triangulated it the best we could,
Right.
where the road structure was and how we could get close to them.
I think if we just get down, we can get over here.
See, doesn't he sound like he's around?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go while the kitten's good, before he shuts up.
I don't know how to get there.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Who's probably almost a mile away from us?
Right.
3/4 of a mile away.
Well, we guessed pretty right.
We're pretty close.
That's him. That's up there. Didn't it sound like that? Let's keep moving. I can hear him clunking. So we tucked in where the road bent because I figured he'd take the road right to us. Coming right down the road. Let's see if we can get a little closer. We were within 50 yards.
Closer at some points, I think.
Yeah. He started coming. We could hear him. He was coming. He was, bah! And then he probably got to 15 yards from that corner and turned and started walking away.
We're in an old road that's almost like cut back. Like, I mean, it's thick.
And so I pulled out the bugle and I just started getting aggressive with him, and even just grabbing some autumn olive trees and just raking them and just, just trying to do my best. We needed to be about 25 yards down a little further. And he does come down to the road, but then he crosses down below us. Well, now it's getting later. We don't want to keep pushing. We haven't seen this bull. We don't know. He sounds great. I mean, he sounds mature, but, what does that mean? Trying to get our way. So we ended up backing out. I don't like the wind. Go back. we decided to get back out there. We had a plan of where we were going to sit. So we walk, and again, when I say we're walking, we're walking anywhere from a half a mile to, I think one morning we put on four and a half miles or so. So we're covering some country, but it's more covering country to get to a place to call to prospect. Well, we got in there thinking we were 200, 300, 400 yards from where he was bedded.
All right.
And he bugled, and he was right below us.
Yeah, and the first bugle I heard was when we were putting our backpacks down, but I thought it was off in the distance. That's when he climbed the tree.
I did. Yeah, I was trying to see. We thought, okay, let's see if we can pull him out of here. And we ended up taking the Montana decoy, that rump decoy, and we rigged it up with a big rubber band so we could hang it in a tree, because the problem is, this is an old mine. You can't just go and stick a stake in the ground. It's too darn hard.
Well, it's all processed.
Yeah.
Tailings, so it's just compact everywhere. Even where the vegetation is coming out, it's too hard to push anything into, really.
So we hung it behind us, got set up, started calling, and he hammered. He was answering, and we were just, you and me, you with the tripod, using it like a monopod, me with my bow tucked up in the autumn olives. We did that for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then finally he stepped out. There he comes. He stepped out, though, a lot further than I thought. I had arranged a bunch of spots, and I had not ranged that far.
And he stepped out like elk don't step out. He was full body in the meadow in 3 strides.
Right.
He wasn't coy about it at all. He didn't peek around the corner. He just all of a sudden was there in plain sight, which doesn't give you any time to draw back or...
Right, yeah, if I would have drawn back at that juncture, I would have had to hold that for over a minute, because he did work his way out in the meadow, and it came to within 18 yards of us. Well, when he wheels to go, I cow call a couple times, and he stops right before where he came out. And I come to full draw during that commotion, and I get him stopped. When I shot very low enough to where when we watch back the footage, you can see this weed that's got these little buds on it, and it just... I think I missed him.
And then you got to think of how many weeds he hit after that.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you hit that, you were in the thick of it.
Yeah. So he had no idea what happened.
I think he was further. Darn it. I needed to be at full draw. He came out. I should have drawn, but I would have stayed drawn for like 4.5 minutes because I didn't have an angle. I'm gonna go look over there and just make sure, okay? I shot him for 30. And when you told me to move back, it was 36 by the time I got to where I thought he was. It's probably 42. I know I hit low. I could hear it. Now we know why that bull didn't, that's the bull that we got on this morning. And we know why when we bugled at him and we gave him the business, he didn't want any part of it. That's a good bull, good bugle, good, but it's not that next level bull. But that's pretty cool. That's a great encounter, for sure.
I'm here with Todd Tackett and Ashton Tackett. We find it hard. But what we were setting ourselves up to do was opener of rifle.
Right.
That the first morning there, yesterday morning of rifle, we were listening to a bull bugling below us, and he was kind of side hilling, and so you and Ashton stop, get my attention, and I look up, and all I see is the back end of a bunch of cows going around the corner. Of course, Jordan was here. We put him on a plane, and so Todd, you got either promoted or demoted. I'm not sure which.
Me either.
To running
demoted, I can tell you that now.
To running camera. Luckily for us, the bull wasn't with them, so we get set up.
Yeah.
And that's when what happened.
It started raining.
A little bit?
A little bit at a time, and then after a while, it just started pouring everywhere.
I'd say 20 to 30 minutes of just solid downpour.
And all of a sudden, it just opened up. And the crazy thing was, there was no rain in the forecast.
No.
And I could barely see the cows in my scope. And so we came back, had lunch, and did what we did, took a nap, whatever. Went back out there, and we find, well, let's go up here and let's work into the edge of that meadow. And, well, this meadow is 4-foot tall cerisa weed, but it has a little bit of a little roll to it. What we didn't know is there were cows already out on that other side. And you said, there's cows right there.
There's cows standing there looking at us.
Right. I grab my binos and I pick them up, and I scan to the left and I see this rack turn.
Yeah.
And that's all you could see is the rack.
Going in the tree.
And I'm like, there's the bull.
That's a good bull.
Now I'm like, okay, well, I need him to come my way. So I call a few more times, and no. He goes, walks over there, and then walks right back into the timber.
Yep. Makes one circle and heads right back in.
So we are frustrated. Why didn't I listen to Todd? Why didn't we get up on the hillside? All of these things are going through my mind. I think when we were heading out of there, I was shaking my head. Pretty disappointed. We formulated a plan. We were going to get there before light. We were going to work up on the opposite ridge and sit and watch that meadow. We're sitting there, and I pick up my binos. I can see elk bodies. I can't make out if they're male, female. I can just see the color. And at this point, camera's still, it's almost like it's off.
Yeah, you can't even see nothing, but you can see the elk out in the field by this time. I mean, right. You had a shot. I mean, right. You could have took that shot at this time.
Well, yeah, it was legal light, but so we waited 15 minutes. What did you say?
At least 15 minutes.
Yeah. So I'm on the bull as he's doing what he's doing. He even gave us a bugle. He gave us one bugle, and I remember breathing, trying to calm myself down, taking deep breaths. We can't film it yet. And then I think I looked at you and I said, even if we can't film it, I'm shooting him.
Yeah.
If he starts to walk out.
Yeah, you said when he gets close to the edge, I'm shooting.
Right. And so he was starting to kind of meander a little bit, and he was walking away from us, and I cow called. And he turned broadside. And that's when I took safety off. And
yeah, you looked at me and said, I'm just going to go ahead and shoot.
But all I'm concentrating on is steady pull with that crosshairs on, and it goes. And then he wasn't there.
I can't believe this.
Did he go down that way?
I think he just went down. I couldn't get steady, So I pulled off a couple of times, but he was walking, following those cows.
Throw up a prayer for me too, won't you, David? It seems that our numbers started to fall. I thought missions were made for the will.
He is.
Surely his will.
Oh, thank you, Lord. We did it, buddy. What a great adventure. I mean, heat, Oh, what a beautiful bull. Today, oh, look at that. I mean, he's a good bull.
6%.
Having the experience with you guys, having been able to share this whole progression of Landon, Ashton, and then Kelly, and then this year to really be able to bring it full circle.
Yeah.
And that's what's special for me.
Thanks for watching Outback Outdoors. We encourage you to comment below, and as always, like, subscribe, and click the alert to stay up to date on all our new videos.